Welcome to the Massillon City Council meeting for Monday, May 1st, 2023. We have in attendance with us the following city officials.
Mayor Kathy Perry.
Good evening.
Safety Service Director Barb Sylvester.
Present.
Civil Engineer Greg McHugh.
Present.
Law Director Justin Richard.
Present.
Economic Development Director David Maley.
Present.
Is there anyone here present from administration on my list? Samantha Walters
Present.
and Edmund Mack. Is that it? That's it, Madam President.
Thank you and welcome to everyone in attendance. Under number 5 on the agenda is where the public can get up and speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. And then again, under number 17, the public can speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. I'd like to remind you, please, if you have a cell phone, to please set it to mute, vibrate, or turn it off. Thank you. Roll call.
Kramer.
Present.
Gregg.
Here.
Harvard Smith. Here. Hurricane.
Here.
Lewis.
Present.
Lombardi.
Here.
Slutz.
Here.
Sneed.
Here.
And Viola.
Here.
Roll call of 9 present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. All present and accounted for. Before we continue, I'd like to call on Council Richard.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to take this time to introduce everybody to our new Chief Counsel, Earl Wise. Earl, EJ, would you stand? He also goes by EJ. He's a former 5th District Court of Appeals. He brings over 2 decades of experience to the Massillon Law Department. We are happy to have him.
Thank you. And welcome, EJ. Thank you. I notice a lot of young adults in the audience. What school are you representing?
Jackson.
Jackson. Welcome, and after the meeting, have one of council people sign their papers. Okay, Councilman Sneed.
Please stand and join me for the Lord's Prayer, followed by pledge of allegiance. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Does everyone have an agenda that would like one in the audience?
No one needs an agenda?
Thank you, Councilman Sneed. Madam Clerk, are the minutes of the previous meeting transcribed and open for public viewing?
Yes, they are.
Are there any corrections or additions to be made?
No, there are not.
And the minutes stand approved as written. We're at number 5 on the agenda, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that does appear on tonight's agenda. I'd like to ask you, if you'd like to speak, come forward to the mic, state your name, address, topic you wish to discuss. Please limit your comments to 4 minutes or less, and when you're finished, there should be a paper on the desk back there. Make sure you print and print legibly.
Could you repeat that? I have something to say after the meeting and I wasn't quite sure I heard your instructions.
If you wish to speak on something that is on tonight's agenda, when the mic is available, come forward, state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss. And at some point, make sure that you sign the paper, print legibly, and limit your comments to 4 minutes or less. Thank you.
I believe what she wants to speak on is not on the agenda, so she'd have to go to
So
7.
you probably have to wait till number 17 if it's not on tonight's agenda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, Gail Dancy, 2014 Tennyson Avenue Northeast. This is something on the agenda, but not for you to do tonight. just for you to give consideration to. We're voting on you're voting on the CDBG budget, and my request is that at some point, and I would love to help you, that you can get more familiar with the purpose of federal funds, what they are to be used for, what they're not to be used for, because you are the governing body of the city, not the administration. So I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to know everything about those funds so you can vote to the best of your knowledge or the best of how you feel about it. Thank you.
Minor correction, please. If you wish to speak, please come forward and state your name and topic you wish to discuss.
Yeah, my name is Robert Mackel. I live in Massillon. I want to know why we have to pay about this Kimball contract.
Well, unfortunately, this is not a question-answer session. This is just you can make comments on anything that's on the agenda. After the meeting, perhaps somebody can answer your question.
I called Kimball. They told me to call. I called Kimball. They told me to call. I called.
Just talk into the mic, get off the touch it. Don't touch the mic.
I called Kimball, and they told me to call City Hall to talk to you guys about it, and you guys told me to call Kimball. What is it? And plus, I don't have a contract with City Massillon about $23. Well, I tried to pay for it, but I don't have a contract with you guys.
After the meeting, Councilman Viola will talk to you.
Because I have to say what I gotta say, and I gotta go back home because I gotta take care of two people that got diabetes. So I'm here to say what I'm gonna say, and I gotta leave right away. I don't have the online, or email or anything.
Mr. Manning will speak with you now. If you could sign that paper, please. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else wishing to speak on a topic that is on tonight's agenda? Seeing none, we'll move into new and miscellaneous business. Councilman Lewis.
Yes, in accordance with Division G2 of Section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code, I move that we enter an executive session for the purpose of considering the purchase of property for public purposes, the sale of property at competitive bidding, or the sale of other disposition of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit for use property in accordance with Section 505.10 of the Revised Code. If premature disclosure of information will give an unfair competitive or bargaining advantage to a person whose personal private interest is adverse to the general public. I'll be inviting to this executive session all members of council, including the president of council, the law director and his representatives, the safety service director, the mayor, and I think that is it.
Second by Councilman Gregg, roll call.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Herman Cain,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Swiggs,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Gilman,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
9 yes to enter into executive session.
Mr. Lewis, would you like to expand your invitation?
Yes, as long as no one objects, I would expand to include the city engineer, Greg McHugh. And Samantha Walters, apparently.
And I don't know if David Maybe is on that, Mr.
Yeah.
Mayor. Roll call. We did? We will now enter into executive session.
Yes. Herm King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Beelman,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
and Gray.
Yes.
9 yes to exit executive session.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We have now exited executive session and back to our regular session. There are next ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 44, 2023.
An ordinance approving the proposed Community Development Block Grant, CDBG, program budget for the fiscal year 2023 program year and declaring an emergency.
Councilwoman Creamer.
Thank you, Madam President. Each year, City Council is asked to review and approve the proposed Community Development Block Grant program budget. This year, we're being asked for the 2023 program year. The program year is from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024. The major objectives of the Community Development Block Grant Program is to provide decent, safe, and affordable housing, to promote a suitable living environment, and to expand economic opportunity. We received the list of proposed projects on the documents that were provided to us. Those activities to be undertaken by the city includes housing rehabilitation, code enforcement, downtown street improvements. And those activities for which CDBG funding will be provided to local organizations. Samantha Walters was here at our work session, and she did answer our questions and give us an overall of this program. There were some changes. The total budget for this year was $663,912.98. Does anyone have any questions regarding this ordinance this evening? I was planning on moving it forward, but if there's any questions or concerns, I'll open it up for questions. Anyone have any concerns? No questions regarding the budget that we have before us? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to waive the 3 rulings requiring, motion to waive the 3 readings, sorry about that, and bring ordinance number 44-2023 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lewis. Roll call for suspension.
Herm King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Beelman,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
and Harwood Smith.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And it passes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Beelman,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harwood Smith. Yes. And Herm King.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 44, 2023 has passed. Ordinance number 45, 2023.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1100 general fund for the purpose of special events for the year ending December 31st, 2023, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this is the, I believe, from the mayor's breakfast. This is an appropriation for the donations received. Any conversation or questions this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 reading ordinance number 45-20234 for a vote.
Second by Councilman Lombardi. Roll call for suspension.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Beelman,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harwood Smith. Yes. Herm King,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Slutes,
Yes.
Snead,
Yes.
Beelman,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harwood Smith. Yes. Herm King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Lombardi.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 45, 2023 is passed. Is there any unfinished business?
I have none.
Is there any petitions or general communications?
No, there are not.
Are there any bills, accounts, and claims?
No, there are not.
Reports from city officials?
Yes, we have the treasurer's report for March 2023, and everyone should receive that in an email.
Thank you. Reports of committees. Our next committee meeting will be Tuesday. What am I looking next Monday, May 8th. Mayor? And down.
Good evening, Madam President and members of council and those in the audience tonight. A couple things I wanted to just share with you. We did have the mayor's breakfast about a week ago, and it was well attended. We gave away 22 awards, many from our staff, but also those in the community. So if you'd like to see who won those awards, it is on our website. Next, I wanted to just talk about our street paving for 2022. As you recall, last year the contractors were hard to acquire because everybody was doing road paving, and so 2022 is at 60% roughly complete, and we should be starting 2023 around July. We are opening up the catch basin program for the year. The bid opening is May 4th. So I'm excited to get that program going. The aggregation electric program that we have in the city of Massillon, many of you probably have heard that the electric rates are going up. And but those that are within our program, your rates will be staying the same. And if you're not in our program right now, there's a phone number. I'm going to read it. You are to call Energy Harbor at 866-636-3749. So I just wanted to let you know that. And that is through May of 2025. So they can still be, I'll give the number again. Sure. You can still join our program, our aggregation program. The phone number is, it's called Energy Harbor, and the number is 866-636-3749. And we'll put that on our website also. The electric is going up significantly, so we want our residents to be able to utilize our program. The sidewalk program, you all were approving of an increase to 125 this year, and right now the sidewalk program is closed, and we are at 115,000 out of the 125,000. So outstanding. And just an update on Charles and Erie, work has begun, and so you'll continue to see ongoing work on Charles and Erie. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. I'd like to go back reports of committees. Councilman Snee, are you having the Streets and Highway meeting next Monday at 5:30?
On the 15th at 5:30.
On the 15th. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, resolutions and requests of council members. Councilman Stewart.
Thank you. I will not be here next week.
Okay. Anyone else? Call the calendar. Third reading ordinances and resolutions, none. Second reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 40, 2023.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for the purpose of street resurfacing project for the year ending December 31st, 2023, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this ordinance is the additional monies to be appropriated to cover the cost, the anticipated cost of the street resurfacing project. Is there any discussion or questions this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring three readings for ordinance number 40-2023 for approval.
Second by Councilman Gray. Roll call for suspension.
Sneed,
Yes.
Viola,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
and Sluse.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Viola,
Yes.
Freeman,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hurricane,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
and Sneed.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 40, 2023 is passed. Word number 17 on the agenda, where anyone from the audience can come forward and speak on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. They discuss. Please submit your comments to 4 minutes or less, and make sure you sign the paper or print legibly on the paper on the top.
Is this okay?
You can sit down there.
Okay, I prefer to sit. if you don't mind.
Oh, just need your mic, that's all.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for letting me speak tonight. My name is Janice Thomas. I have lived at 1234 Tremont Avenue, Southeast Massillon, close to South Civil Park for a number of years. There's my kids here, went to schools very well afterwards. I like this community. I'm going to stay here. I am a cat lover. I'm an old lady, 71 years old. I have several cats. I have built in November, or actually October of 21, something called a catio. If I can maybe pass some pictures around to give you an idea. This is a drawing of my house that I submitted with the request to get it approved after it was already done. I did do some preliminary work. I didn't find anything in any of the laws or rules or regulations against a catio. I did not see anything that related to that. This is just a picture off the internet I got of what a catio looks like. This is what my catio looks like with pine planks. This is a side view from Tremont. The other one is facing South Civil. And code enforcement does not like it. And the reason they don't like it is because of something they call workmanlike behavior, workmanlike manner. Workmanlike manner. Whatever that means. Okay. Actually, I looked it up, and it applies to a contractor who builds homes. I don't think it's specifically designed to cover catios, but it's apparently open to interpretation. If they don't like it, it's illegal. And it's considered an illegal structure and has been since November 21, apparently. The main complaint, and this was from April of 2022, the Massillon Zoning Board of Appeals, the first appeal that I had, James Johnson. Okay, I think I can offer some recommendations to the board, to the chief building official here. I think the problem is, one, the size is large and it isn't properly constructed, being wrapped around those tree stumps. That's an issue for us, the tree stumps, which could easily be hit, obviously. So, having denied my appeal, I appealed. The next step was to Massillon City Council. This is my hand-delivered appeal, May 9th, to Diane Rowland. I got a call from her. It was scheduled for the June 21st meeting of 2022. And I know it was on the agenda because when I did a record request in November, this is what I got. That is a form that says that you were at least considering approving my appeal. Of course, it had to be voted on and approved, but at least it was a form that you were going to consider for June 21st. I never appeared here. I don't know if any of you remember what happened, that I got a call from Diane Rowland a few days beforehand that Jim Johnson had come to her office and told her to take it off the agenda without consulting me, without calling me, without notifying me. She notified me. And I came right down here and I talked to her, and what she said was, she confirmed again what she told me on the phone when I asked what basis did Jim Johnson drop my appeal and get it stricken from the council meeting agenda, in which I was to make an appeal to keep my cat enclosure. She stated Jim had referenced the proposal I had submitted, which was a ladder and cedar fence planks, and was willing to work with me. I did do that in May. 1 minute. I have a copy of it somewhere. It was just basically a handwritten note with some pictures. Johnson and Massillon. I never got a response. Not in writing, not a phone call, nothing. So it was stricken off the agenda in June. I didn't have a chance to appeal it. Okay, that's what happened. So then, I get a letter in November with a demo order. And the demo order says, right here, this was filed November 2nd, 2022. Your appeal of this matter was then denied by City Council. Denied by City Council. This office has allowed more than sufficient time for you to correct this situation. So you all denied it without me being here? I wish I was kidding. But I'm not. It's in writing. Okay, that was in November.
Janice, you need to wrap it up, please.
Okay, I will attempt to do that. Okay, so then I got a demo order. I sent off an email asking for everything. I got a call from Jim saying that there was going to be another hearing November 15th. On November 13th, this was another appeal. November 13th, he called me and canceled it. He said, we're going to have another appeal with whatever the last one was, and you'll be notified. I was never notified. But apparently they had a meeting in December, and I got a tear down order in April 7th. The tear down was April 7th. And what he put in there is just incredible. Literally incredible. He said that the variance requests were turned down by City Council and also failed to overturn the variances as well. Code enforcement gave the owner the option to install a privacy fence to block the view. If you remember, the one thing I passed around was I initiated that, and I never got a response. Okay. And he also goes on to say the owner could not afford it, which is not true. I did not say that. I said I couldn't afford to tear the whole thing down and rebuild it, but I didn't say I couldn't afford a fence. The structure does not comply with building or zoning requirements. Based on what? Based on what? It's wrapped around trees. Okay, that was it. Owner was notified of today's meeting, did not show. This is the one from November. Not true. Jim Johnson recommends the commission uphold the 20-day demolition order.
Janice,
Sorry.
I'm going to cut you off.
Okay.
I'm going to have Mike review her council person. I suggest that you talk to Mike Ray, your council person, and appeal to council again, and we'll bring it back up.
Okay, I am, of course, requesting that the tear down order be vacated and I can put up some kind of privacy fence if necessary, as long as my cats have some kind of view. But, it should be a compromise, so that's
Thank you.
it.
Make sure you put some information on that sheet.
I'm sorry?
Make sure you send that sheet. Anyone else interested in speaking on any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda?
Good evening. I'm David McCune. I live in Massillon, Ohio, and I want to thank you for providing me a moment or two of your time. Tonight, I'd like to touch base with you in regard to ordinance number 22-2023, the proposed business inducement grant for Cappy and Gunpowder LLC. I'm a firm believer that any business that has a solid business history, along with a business plan of growth in both business and employment, should be considered for and provided with a grant from the city. Unfortunately, Caffeine and Gunpowder LLC seems to fail in both regards. Their past business failures, which the public records of have been provided to council, included within having the rights to do business in the state of Ohio revoked not once but twice. Then couple those findings with the impending lawsuit from a former employee, and together they lead me believing that this is not a business the city of Massillon should be investing in. I do not understand why it has been attempted by some to make this inducement grants consideration into a First and Second Amendment issue when it is simply a business decision. For regardless of a person's personal beliefs, if serving as an elected official, one must consider any business that meets the aforementioned requirements for a grant, regardless of its nature, and if it meets said requirements, the business should be eligible for the awarding of a grant. But again, from the information within the public records that has been presented to council, Caffeine and Gunpowder LLC seems to fail to do so in both regards. I also found the recent statements regarding vetting this business more than any other business previously curious. As the administration currently doesn't have a vetting process and simply follows a long-standing point system, and council typically doesn't perform any vetting in depth. So when the citizens council was elected to represent, find it important enough to explore public records, to vet a business, if you will, and then provide their findings to council for consideration, I would believe all members of council would be honor-bound as well as sworn to take that information into account and do what is best for the city. And in this case, the citizens' findings clearly indicate Caffeine and Gunpowder LLC to be a poor investment opportunity. I've also seen the signs within the business in question that have been mentioned at previous council meetings, and they do seem to leave the business far from being an all-inclusive business. In fact, the signage within the establishment, although within the rights of the business owner, is attacking, hateful, vulgar, and not conducive to being an all-inclusive business in any way. Again, at least in my humble opinion, only adding to making the business in question a poor investment opportunity. As a responsible gun owner who would like to see a similar business established in Massillon, I would not like to see this business, with the aid of a grant, be the one established in Tigertown, as it would mean I would still have to commute to a neighboring city for my weapon and ammo needs. With all that said, I respectfully urge all of you to consider voting no on ordinance number 22-2023, providing Caffeine and Gunpowder LLC with a business inducement grant from the city of Massillon. Madam President, I would like to submit this statement as part of tonight's records, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Thank you.
Thank you, David. Don't forget to sign the paper. Anyone else wish to talk on a topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda?
And I live at 317 Strive Avenue Southeast. And I want to bring it to the attention of the city that there's been a vehicle parked on the sidewalk on Third Street.
Could you speak into the mic, please? Thank you.
There's been a vehicle parked on the sidewalk at a house where it's a two-car garage, and it actually can accommodate 4 cars in the driveway, and then the garage would still be there for their use. That car's been there, broke down for 2 years, because I took pictures of it just to see how long it would stay there without getting a ticket, without the owners being told that they needed to move it or do something. Also, my grandson is blind, and there's a sign that says blind person in the area, and the overgrowth from the tree on the person's property, that's at the corner of Shriver and Johnson, has been blocking the view for 2 years. Now, I happened to be up visiting with my aunt when the people who owned the property had a tree company come out and look at it. So I went and asked them if it was possible that they could take care of it. When the tree is in a person's property and the branch grows over and it covers the sign on the street that says a person in this area is blind, who's actually responsible for that? Is it the city? Or is it when it's on the tree line property that the city is responsible for cutting it?
Again, this is not a question and answer, but at the end of the meeting, perhaps somebody could talk to you about that.
Okay, because I'd like to see that car moved, but actually the sign, is unblocked because the woman that I talked with was kind enough when they came to cut. They took care of that first so that it wouldn't be obliterated by the limb. Another question or complaint I have is that on 3rd Street, if you're going, I guess this is coming south if I'm coming from Walnut or 3rd Street towards town, that side of the street is no parking. People park there at will, and the signs have been bleached by the sun, where you can't read them, and the city's not even come out to check to see what needs to be taken care of there. They've been like that for years. But I just want to complain about it because my grandson is blind. He does walk through the area. The sort of curb to curb does come to pick him up, and he is able to maneuver and go and visit people. But if the signs are not up so that, I won't call it reckless, but people do run the stop sign down there on a regular basis. I've complained to the police department about that also. Of course, they never run the sign where the police are sitting up in Shiloh's parking lot. But I took my grandson's cane myself and walked down the street just to see what they would do. And they sped up when they saw me coming. And my grandson, he's 21, but his vision hasn't gotten any better. And I want him to be able to maneuver down in the neighborhood peaceably and safely, if that makes any sense. So that's what I'd like to have looked into.
Thank you.
Do I need to put my address here? Thank you.
Again, if someone from administration could talk to Gwendolyn, I'd appreciate it. Anyone else wishing to speak?
I'm Bishop G.L. Evans, resident of Massillon, and a couple complaints. One just kind of follows what she just said. However, I've been living in Massillon and in the house that I've been living in for good over 8 to 10 years. My grandmother owned it over, I'm 50, so 80-something years. But on Sunday morning, let me go back. We heard the complaint about the caffeine and guns, gunpowder, and since I spoke out against that, I've been pulled over twice. We've heard individuals say how he don't feel that we should give our address. And now I'm beginning to understand why he mentioned that we should give our address when we speak out. So since I gave my address, I've been pulled over twice. But then on Sunday morning, surprisingly, I get a knock on my door. Officer served me warning that I need to move my vehicles off of a property that I've been maintaining, my grandmother has been maintaining over 50-something years, saying that, and I quote, the mayor came by and saw and wants this stuff removed from city property. Again, over 50-something years. I've been there over 10 years and been maintaining the property. It is said to be the park's property, but however, the park does not maintain it. I cut the grass around it, and before there is a whole lot that has to be cut that belongs to the city, and it's not cut until I cut it. So surprisingly, again on Sunday morning, I don't believe code operates on Sunday morning, but I get a knock on my door telling me that the mayor came by and wants this stuff removed, which is not a problem, but however, you would think this is sort of harassment or retaliation. However you want to look at it, I find it very surprising. And following her remarks, when there is a car parked on the sidewalk that I'm just hearing for over 2 years, that code has not been even looked at or gave a warning, but on Sunday morning, I'm being faced to move my boats off of some grassland that I maintain. So again, this is just something I wanted to bring up, and it may be a coincidence, but however, again, it looks like harassment to me.
Thank you, Gerald. Anyone else? Seeing none? Councilman Smith,
I'd like to make a motion, we adjourn.
second by Councilman Harold Smith. Roll call.
Reamer,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Howard Smith,
Yes.
Hearn King,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lombardi,
Yes.
Sluse,
Yes.
Sneed,
Yes.
and Viola. Yes. 9 yes to adjourn.
Meeting adjourned.